What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Tuesday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast with me, Matt Perrault, at Sports Talk Matt, to follow me across all socials. This podcast being brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com. Their semi-annual sale going on right now. Juice that promo code, and that gets you 50% off. Plus $30 off the already 50% off with the code JUICE at OmahaSteaks.com. Welcome to the NHL hockey preview and first day of hockey betting of the Daily Juice. Now, if you're a baseball guy, sorry. If you're a college football guy, there is a chance I will add a bet here for one game being played tonight. Coastal Carolina and Appalachian State. I love this game. I'm going to be honest. I've spent so much time tonight on hockey. I'm now 2.5 hours in. I haven't even looked at it. It's 11 o'clock. I got to tape the podcast. Okay. So on my prep for the Bostonian versus the Book tomorrow, there very well might be a football ad. Okay. So if you're a diehard football guy and you hate hockey, you don't like betting hockey, you're like, Matt, give me something. I'll give you something in the Discord channel. Okay. BettingPros.com/chat. I'll tell you what I'm going to bet for the game involving Appalachian State and Coastal Carolina. Fun Belt on a Tuesday. Love the game. Every year it's super fun. Most likely we're betting the over, but we'll figure that out here in just 1 second. Later on, well, tomorrow morning probably, or this morning, I'll figure it out for you guys, okay? So last night, 1-2, down 1.09 units. The teaser was dead because that field goal got missed. If the field goal hit for Carlson at the end, we might have gotten ourselves a decent shot at going 20-20 and then to overtime and going over, because that would have hit the over and it would have hit the teaser at +8 for the Green Bay Packers, but we missed that. We got the Phillies right at +125. That was good. Dodgers are in deep trouble, down 2-0 now to the Diamondbacks. So we got that wrong in the first 5. So 1.09 units down on a Monday. Down for the week, obviously it's Tuesday, but let's go. Full disclosure, the bets we are making here, the books don't know anything, and nor do we. This has been amazing. The amount of discrepancies between the books are unbelievable right now. Caesars has a goal in the first 10 minutes for Vegas and Seattle tonight at -190. DraftKings is -145. That's a really big difference. Shop is the advice here, okay? Shop around, find different prices, because everyone is all over the place right now in terms of win totals. I have found massive arbitration opportunities where you can arb these. You can bet them both, over and under, for season point totals. Books are flying blind. It's obvious. When it comes to hockey numbers, oh boy, Charmin soft, all over the place. They're guessing. Dart throwing going on right now for the books, which is great for us if we're right, or if I'm right with what I'm looking at and what I'm going to handicap, all right? So last year, I was red hot in hockey. I wound up being up 5 units for the entire season. We cooled off at the end of the year when the numbers got really sharp. The books kind of got their revenge on me in April, but then we came back. We had a good playoff, so it was a lot of fun. So Vegas, the defending champs, all right? It's a awesome opportunity to get involved with Vegas here tonight. I've got 2 bets going for the Vegas versus Seattle Kraken game. I've got 1 bet on the Pittsburgh Penguins and Chicago Blackhawks bet. I have a combination moneyline parlay between tonight and tomorrow that I'm going to give you. I've got a 2 season point total bets that I'm going to give you, 1 over and 1 under, that I'm going to give you as well. All right, so buckle up. Let's get to hockey here. Let's start with the first game. Connor Bedard's first game in the NHL. Really interesting stuff. Did you know, and I actually forgot about this until I looked it up, you could make the case that one of the most amazing things happened when Pittsburgh lost to Chicago on the last day of the regular season. You can draw an amazing correlation because on April the 13th, Chicago beat the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-3, 5-2, 5-3. That snapped the longest streak in U.S. and North American professional sports for teams making the postseason. 16 consecutive seasons, the Pittsburgh Penguins had won and gone to the playoffs. They lost to Chicago on the last day of the regular season, and that kept them out. by Chicago winning, that clinched the number one seed for them. That clinched them the number one opportunity to draft Connor Bedard, which they did. It also put the Florida Panthers into the playoffs where they bounced the Boston Bruins, who had just set the record with 135 points in a single NHL season. Most wins, most points. If that loss doesn't happen on the last day of the regular season, Pittsburgh may have made, if they win the game, Pittsburgh's in. They make the playoffs, not Florida. The bracket is totally different. Boston may have won the Stanley Cup. Who knows? I mean, the domino effect, the metaverse type of situation, the Doctor Strange moving with the whole, Infinity Stone. I mean, what the hell? That's crazy as to what could have happened if Pittsburgh doesn't lose to the Blackhawks on the last day of the regular season last year. Now they play Chicago on the first game of the new season. One of the oldest rosters in the NHL, and Sidney Crosby, Sid the Kid, gets to welcome in the new kid. The first time these two teams played last year, different rosters, I know, but it was a 5-3 win for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think the Penguins are going to kill the Blackhawks. They have a new GM. That loss got Ron Hextall fired. They got a new GM coming over. Kyle Dubas coming over from Toronto here. Last hurrah, one of the last hurrahs. And welcome to the NHL kid Connor Bedard. The Blackhawks are awful. They can't score. They're going to start a goaltender that I think will give up quite a few goals here tonight. Mrazek wasn't great. He was okay last year, actually, against the Blackhawks. He only faced them once. That was on the last day of the regular season. He got the win that game. The numbers are wild. Chicago was 17-24 on the road on the puck line. That was down 10 units if you faded them every game. But Pittsburgh was 13-28 at home on the puck line. Now, a lot of those losses happened late when they were favored, and they just kept on losing, down 17 units. But there's so much in play here for this, okay? The puck line for Pittsburgh is plus 102 at FanDuel. You can shop around and try to find a better puck line price. If you can find it, I would highly recommend jumping on it because there are just numbers, discrepancies. I mean, I'm stunned. I got to be honest. I'm stunned at how all over the place the numbers are. Plus 105, plus 102, plus, all over the place. I got it at FanDuel, but DraftKings has it at plus 105. Same price, basically, but, it's a DraftKings. I'll give it to you at plus 105 because it's DraftKings. I got 102, but I'll give it to you at 105. I think the Penguins come out of here and just rip the Blackhawks. There's a lot of bad blood here, and I know you can say it's year to year, it's different. This is bad for the Blackhawks. I think you look at the Blackhawks, and with Bedard and all the hype coming in, this is a good thing for the focus of this Penguins team. Coming out of the gate, home opener, and you've got Bedard coming in, and I think the veterans are going to welcome this kid to the NHL tonight. I don't think Chicago scores very much here, even with the goalie situation going on for Pittsburgh. They have not named a starting goaltender. Definitely, Jarry is unconfirmed. Mrazek has been confirmed. He's in. Tristan Jarry, I don't love. You could bet the over in this game, and I wouldn't hate the over to come in and bet that, but at 6.5, it's juiced to the over. I'd rather take the plus money because I think if the over hits, Pittsburgh's winning and Pittsburgh's covering the puck line. So you can bet them both. But the Blackhawks, I'm nervous the Blackhawks aren't going to do their part. Now, you may need a 7-0 win for Pittsburgh to get to the over. I'd rather go ahead and just bet the Penguins. People are betting Connor Bedard props already, shots on goal, Connor Bedard to score. I get all that stuff. The Blackhawks are awful. They're awful. Okay, this is a young team with no talent. They tanked last year, and they haven't exactly reloaded and restocked. Okay, Penguins, puck line, laying 1.5 goals. They must win by more than 1 goal at plus 105. 1 unit. Penguins to knock down the Blackhawks. Now, there's also another moneyline parlay bet I am making. The Bruins play the Blackhawks tomorrow night. Blackhawks open up on the road at Chicago and then at Boston. 2-leg moneyline parlay. Pittsburgh to beat the Blackhawks, money line. The Bruins to beat the Blackhawks, money line. FanDuel, minus 115. Bet it. 1.15 units down on that. Bruins, money line tomorrow night. Penguins, money line tonight. Okay? So if by chance that the Blackhawks cover the puck line, we have a way of making it up here with a bet with the Bruins and the Penguins money line each for Tuesday and Wednesday. All right? That bet takes us to the second game of the night, or third game of the night, actually. I have nothing on Nashville, Tampa, but something on Tampa here in a second. This is going to be fun. Did you know that when Seattle and Vegas played 4 times last year, a goal in the first 10 minutes happened in all 4 games? 4-0. 68.2% of the time for Seattle, a goal was scored in the first 10 minutes, one of the best in the NHL last year. The Golden Knights, 67.7% or 0.07%. Last year, 9-1 over the last 10 games. A goal was scored in the first 10 minutes in a game involving the Vegas Golden Knights. It is dropping the banner night. It is celebrate the Stanley Cup night. It's the last time the Golden Knights will have the cup in their possession before it goes out, and now it's being contended for again. There's going to be the potential for the Golden Knights to get off to a slow start and give up a cheap goal early, okay? It's just the nature of these things. Golden Knights might score a goal early. The building's going to be absolutely juiced when they drop the banner, okay? Going to be flying around, remembering what happened. This is incredible. Wow, I can't believe this happened last year type of situation. Caesars has a gift at minus 190 tonight. Goal in the first 10 minutes is minus 190. What are we doing? It's the first game of the year. Are you serious? You're juicing it in minus 190? It's the biggest FU price I've seen in a long time from a book. This is like, get out of here. Bet something else. Goal in the first 10 minutes, 190. But DraftKings is at minus 145. All right? FanDuel's at 160. DraftKings is the best price I've found. Hopefully you guys can find a cheaper price. I found it at DraftKings, minus 145. I'm betting it. I know Grubauer in net for Seattle has been pretty good. Grubauer had a 1.73 goals against average against Vegas last year. Pretty good. On the road, Seattle was a pretty good team to the under on the road. More on that in a second. This year, Vegas wound up being an under team at home because of how they played defensively at the end of the year. Hill is net. It may be Thompson, but it could be Hill. Hill is projected. I don't care who plays for Vegas. It doesn't really impact the bet to me too much. Both goaltenders are very good, but it's supposed to be Hill. It might not be. It might be Thompson, but Hill, 2.37 goals against at home last year, a 1.72 goals against last year in October. He was tremendous. Guy won the cup. I mean, so like, yeah, it's not gonna be crazy to see that guy get the start here because it's, banner dropping night. I'm gonna lay the 145. Goal in the first 10 minutes. Vegas and Seattle, minus 145, 1.45 units down on that. I'm going to drop it. It's a big bet. I normally bet half units on this stuff, okay? But we've had a good run, and the numbers, I feel confident. It might not happen, okay? We may lose this, but, I mean, I don't know. 4-0 is 4-0. And the books, one book, Caesars is like, uh-oh, don't bet this. So we're going to make you pay big time if you want to get involved. 55-cent difference is pretty big to find it. I think it's worth dropping it and paying the juice and coming in. And I think that's, it's one bet. If it misses, we'll come back. We got college football and other fun things to get into. It's okay. It not guaranteed to hit, but I feel pretty good about it. Seattle and Vegas, goal in the first 10 minutes. Either team to score in the first 10 minutes. It's called a gift. A goal in the first 5 minutes is a GIF. GIFF. Goal in the first 5 minutes. If a goal in the first 5 minutes hits and you bet goal in the first 5 and goal in the first 10, you cash both bets. That's called a Santa. All right? So in case you're curious about the terminology we're going to use throughout the entire year, gift, goal in the first 10, GIF, goal in the first 5. If a GIF and a gift both hit, that's a Santa. We'll have other fun stuff as well as the hockey year goes on, but gift, Vegas and Seattle, 1.45 units. I'm not done with the game, however, though. 6.5. Total 6.5. This is wild, okay? So Vegas last year was 25, 24, and 4 to the over last year. Barely over. Seattle on the road was 25, 23, and 1. Hill and Grubauer, like I talked about, both pretty good. Against Vegas, Grubauer was very good, 1.73 goals against. And in September, goals against last year, in October last year, 3.77 was pretty good. These teams played a bunch of games last year. Only one went over. Played 4 games, 3 of them went under. 6.5 is the total. It's juiced to the under at some books. DraftKings, it's flat. Circa Sports in Vegas, it's flat. Superbook in Vegas, flat, minus 110 both sides. Books are going to see what people want to bet it, what direction. I'm going under. I'm going to go against the trend here a little bit. I'm going to go against what most people think is going to happen here. Under 6.5. Vegas and Seattle, 1.1 units down. Under 6.5 here for Vegas and the Kraken tonight. I think it's going to be like a 3-1, 4-1, 4-2 type of hockey game. I don't think we're getting 7 goals. I think we're getting 4 out of one team and then 2 out of another. I don't think we're seeing 3. I don't think a 4-3 final. Could happen. Open net and whatnot. It's happened before with Vegas, but I think under is the better play. 1.1 units down, under 6.5. All right? 3 bets going tonight. 1 that's carrying over. All right? Pittsburgh, puck line. Bruins, Penguins, money line. Both against the Blackhawks tonight and tomorrow. That's minus 115. Gift, minus 145. Go in the first 10 minutes for Seattle and Vegas. Under 6.5, minus 110 for Vegas and Seattle. 1.1 units down there. 1.45 units there. So we are a little heavily committed to that game. I'm fine with it. Puck line, even plus 105. 1 unit bet there. And then most likely we will have a college football play in the Discord channel when I have a chance to fully break it down, watch the line movement a little bit. But Appalachian State taking on Coastal Carolina. I'll have a football bet for you guys coming up in the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat. Now, 2 NHL futures to give you guys. Did you know the last time the Boston Bruins didn't score 100 points, record 100 points, was back in 2016, 2017? When I believe the number was 97 at the time. If you cut out the COVID year, just cross it out because it was a wonky year. The full NHL season, the last time, 2016, 2017 for the Boston Bruins. Bruins had 135 points last year. Now, Patrice Bergeron is gone, and that is a massive question and a massive conversation piece to have is like, okay, what will the Boston Bruins look like? However, you can shop around here. Some books have the Bruins point total at 101.5. There are other books that have the Boston Bruins at 98.5 points. Just told you the last time the Boston Bruins didn't record a 100-point year was in 2016, 2017. All right? I can't wait to see what this Bruin team looks like. Okay? I totally understand that Boston has major question marks. David Krejci is gone. Patrice Bergeron is gone. This is going to be a ton on Brad Marchand as to what he's going to look like. But the Bruins are still a really good team. They're still a really good team. Most people are projecting them for anywhere from 102 to 105 points coming up. They're going to make the playoffs, okay? They're going to be in the playoffs. That's just what they're going to be. They're going to be in the postseason. They could be back and do what like the Florida Panthers did when they won, the best record, best points, and then turned around and make a run all the way to the Cup Finals, okay? The next year after you get bounced early. Could very well happen. Bruins defensively are going to be good. Goaltending should be good, really good, with Allmark back. I like the Bruins. Superbook Sports. If you have it in your state, go find this. Over 98.5 points for the Boston Bruins. 1.1 units down. It's minus 110. Okay? Jumping on the Boston Bruins. Over 98.5 points for the season. And it's not a homer pick. There's stats to back it up. I mean, they're going to be great defensively. I'm not betting to win the cup. But again, the last time the Bruins didn't win 100 points, didn't record 100 points in a year was 2016, 2017. A long time ago, okay? Still have a very good core. Still have a very good team. Bruins over 98.5 points. Superbook Sports has it at minus 110. One more bet. The Tampa Bay Lightning. This is another one where you can go off there at ARB and look around and go, okay, what's the best bet to make? What's the best number you can get? Because there are a ton of books who are all over the place when it comes to the Tampa Bay Lightning. They are an old team. Really, really old team. And there's a lot of question marks about goaltending, a lot of question marks about just the overall ability of this team to be competitive again. Superbook Sports has this number at 92.5 for points. FanDuel is at 96.5 points. That's a big darn difference between what teams will do and what teams will look like. Look, Steven Stamkos is still on this roster. I completely understand this, okay? This team is going to win, going to have 90 points. It would be stunning if they don't have 90 points. But Vasilevsky's getting up there in age, okay? Goaltending is, I mean, he had some games last year and games in the postseason last year. It was like, what is going on? Defensively, they're not good. Offensively, they're very good. Defensively, no bueno. Overs like crazy involving Tampa. I think the Predators beat them tonight. If you want to bet a dog, Predators to go on the road and beat Tampa tonight. I mean, Kucherov is still there. All right, I understand the big name players, but when teams go south, they go south fast. When old teams slow down in the NHL, it's like a switch. They go from being perennial cup contenders to just being kind of like everybody else. It happened to the Penguins, right? I think a very similar thing is going to happen here for this team, for this Lightning team. I think the best case scenario is that everything figures itself out for this team. They all stay healthy, they get really good, and they maybe go and contend and get a decent seed in the postseason. But there's a really good chance that goaltending's a problem, that the contract situation for Stamkos is an issue, the aging defensemen do not perform well at all or they get hurt, and they could miss the playoffs. It's not nuts that Tampa can miss the playoffs. I think this is a good play. Tampa, under 96.5 points at FanDuel for the Tampa Bay Lightning, under 96.5 points for 1.1 units. All right? 2 futures, 4 hockey bets, and a football bet still to come. If you don't like betting hockey, I'm going to make you like it, okay? I'm going to make you pay attention to it because it is a darn good, it's a darn fun sport to bet because as we get deeper into the year, we're essentially betting 3 outcomes, or 3 or 4 outcomes in terms of final totals. 4, 5, 6, or 7. The vast majority of hockey games end 4, 5, 6, or 7. That is an unbelievable thing to bet on because baseball is what? Anywhere from 1 to 25. Basketball, please, we have no idea what a total is going to fall into. Hockey, generally speaking, is 4, 5, 6, or 7. The books are going to put up anywhere from 5 to 7 with half goal in between for numbers. You can look at trends and follow trends, and it gets to be somewhat, not always, but pretty predictable as to how teams are playing. Like last year. I'm going to tell you right now, tomorrow night, Edmonton's at Vancouver. If you find a 6.5, bet it. We'll be on it guaranteed. Over 6.5. Tomorrow. Yes, bet it. Or not tonight, but Tuesday, Wednesday. It's going to be 7 by the time it goes off. Books hate to go to 7 for whatever reason. They don't like putting up a 7 for a number. But 5, 6, and 7, those solid numbers give us push potentials. I love betting them. Absolutely love betting them. Okay? So, I'm going to get you into it. If you aren't into it, hockey is back. Let's go. I couldn't be more happy. One final thing. A lot of data that I will pull will be from a certain account on X, Twitter, whatever, at PSU OTTO, PSU Auto, okay? He does incredible work with spreadsheets for first period, gifts, game totals, trends. Hockey is a big trend betting sport. If you don't follow him, go do so if you want to bet hockey because he gives you great data and it's mostly free. He does have a Patreon for some extra stuff for his picks and plays and whatnot, but he will put out the overall numbers that I will use throughout the entire NHL hockey season. What sport is it, Matt? Hockey season. And so it's a good chance for you guys to jump on it, to see it, to follow it. You'll see a lot of the data that I pull and I use for the podcast. Okay? So once again, real fast, Penguins puck line combined with Bruins, Penguins money line, Tuesday, Wednesday crossover bet. Gift in the Seattle Vegas game at minus 145, under 6.5 Vegas and Seattle at minus 110. Football bet to be coming up later on. Bruins over 98.5 points, and the Lightning under 96.5 points here for this hockey season. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt each and every morning. The Daily Juice podcast being brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com.